And 6 seconds, we'll see how we do. Alright, I think in order to answer this question, you're probably going to need a little context. One, I didn't say I can't read. I said I have dyslexia, and I get headaches, migraines all through my left side of my head when I do read. Two, I never said I know the word. I said I know him. Okay, now the context that you're going to need is where I've been. And then there was this 8-month period of my life where I lost my dad. I lost my 2 months away from being a 17-year-old dog, which is my best friend. I pulled him out of his mother. He was a breech, he was a runt, and he died at 135 pounds of beefiness. He's my best friend. I lost my wife. I lost my stepkids. I lost my house in a fire. I lost my truck. And then I've transferred all the tools from the truck into the trunk of my car, which is 3,000 pounds in the trunk of a car, so I can still go around and do jobs. And then I ran out of gas and that car got towed. And then I did a Hail Mary pass and I got the car back. And then it got stolen 2 weeks later. So then, after, you know what I mean, all that and everything else, and I just didn't want to be here anymore. And then, so when I left Earth, as soon as I got out of Earth's gravity, I remembered what I was and where I came from. And then, so I was like, alright, just before the Big Bang, that's where I'm going, before space and time. So then, I fucking fly really fucking fast through the observable universe, and then I'm coming up on like this 4th dimensional wall, made of like 4th dimensional material, and on the other side of that wall is the most beautiful moving 5th dimensional crystallized light you've never seen, with every of all the colors, and it's so fucking bright that like I wanted to shield my eyes, right? But like I noticed that I didn't have to because it was so soft, it didn't hurt your eyes. And then in the center of that light, in the place that I'm flying at or whatever, is like 1 billion times bigger than the observable universe I just flew through. And then in the center of that light was an even bigger, brighter light. And then as I was coming up over this wall, I was like, alright, cool, that's where all the ones I love are, so that's where I'm going, because I can feel it here, I can feel home, you know what I mean? And then so as I'm trying to fly up and over the top of that 4th dimensional wall, something grabs me, and it doesn't pull me backwards, but it pulls me sideways, and around like that, and back down through the universe that I just came through, and down lower, and I landed on this big marble slab thing that like broke underneath my weight. But it's like 4th dimensional material, it's really dark. But it like broke underneath my weight and everything, and it's like crashed in like that. And I looked up and I seen these like 7 angels just standing along the edge of that wall, and then, but they were like really fucking tall, like looking at like a short telephone pole, probably. And then, when I crashed in like that, I thought I'd fell to my knees, and I was like, I kneel for no man. And then I looked down, and I wasn't kneeling, and they were like, trust, child, we know. And then when they did that, they spoke to my soul, to that innocence, that little kid inside of you, you know what I mean? That one still has wonder for the world. Ooh, I wonder if it is. Ooh, I wonder if it could be. Right? And I never believed in God or any of that before that. I didn't believe in no fucking magic bearded guy in the sky. Come on, really? You know? But then I was like, alright, what the hell? As soon as they spoke to that thing inside of me, I was like, alright, what the hell? What the hell is this? What the hell are you? What the fuck is that light back there? You know what I mean? And then as soon as I got to those questions, they were like, patience, child. And then they explained themselves. They said, we work for he who is him, the Lord God. And there are many gods, like 4th dimensional gods, but there is only one Lord God. He's 5th dimensional. He's the same thing that's that piece of light inside of you. Okay? And then so I was like, alright, well here's the deal. I was like, everybody I love, all the ones that mattered, they're in there now. So I need to get in there, you know. I only have one left here, which is my brother. It's like, I only have one left here. I need to get in there. I it was like, when it turned, it was like, and I felt it feel me, and then I felt it respond to me. And then the main angel, the first one or whatever, turns and it's like, listen, child, you can go in, you gotta make one promise. And I was like, anything. And they're like, you must keep your eyes closed, because if you go inside and you open your eyes, you will not be able to go back. You will leave your brother all alone. You won't be able to come out here, and we won't be able to help fix you. And I was like, deal. So then I walked up these stairs, these 10 stairs, these gates made of like pearls. If they were like made out of Play-Doh or whatever, and you take the pearl and you just roll it up like that and stretch it out into bars, but it's pearl. And so like I go up to these gates or whatever, and I close my eyes and I go inside, and it's so fucking bright inside that it didn't matter if I had my eyes open or closed or whatever. With my eyes closed, I could still see the outlines on their faces of my loved ones and everything. You could see like every emotional fucking crease through your eyelids in there. And I was hugging them and everything else, and I was like my grandma, my grandpa, and my dad, and then my grandma's like, "Have you met Jesus?" And I was like, "Holy shit, he's real," you know. And then he came over to me and he hugged me like a brother. Like I thought that I gave good hugs. I give a pretty good hug, but I thought I gave good hugs. But this motherfucker was just. He come up to me and he's like he hadn't seen me in fucking years, you know. He's like, "Hey," you know, and I was like, "Oh shit, man, how's he doing?" You know, and then he's like took me over to the side and he's like, "All right, these are the things you're doing good. You're doing good here. This is good. Pure heart, all the good things. You know what I mean? You could improve here though. You could just maybe just a little bit here. You know, just a little like this. You know." I'm like, "All right, man. Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for the tips. You know." And I got to hug like Jesus, and I hugged like what is like God's. I don't know, maybe God's finger. I don't know, you know, but it was just, you know. And then so I go back out or whatever, because like, you know, I felt refreshed. Let's fucking get this. You know what I mean? I feel what the essence of it is. You know what I mean? Of what we're supposed to be doing. You know. And then I go back out, and then they showed me my whole life linearly, like the angels. They took my time, my entire life, and I was there for an eternity. It was long enough to fix all the things that were wrong with me. And then so they laid it out linearly, and then I got to see all the mistakes that I made, all the things that why I shouldn't have made them like that, you know, and like what I should have done instead. And then I got to let go of all that, and then the whole time I was there or whatever, you know, like I can't keep this in 10 minutes, man. Fuck. Anyways, so I'm gonna speed this up toward the end. Okay. So then basically what happened was I got to see all the things throughout my whole life. I was there for an eternity. I have more recollection and memories of that dream than I do real life up until this point in time right now. Still. So then fuck the other one. What was the other one? Oh yeah. And then the one next to the main one, because I was like, you know, they were like it reached in behind the gate, and then I like pulled out this flower made of moving crystallized light, like you've never seen. It's a fifth dimensional light or whatever. And then I took it, and when I took it in both hands, and then I turned around to leave, and then it absorbed into my chest, right? And I woke up from that with tears running down my face, and I was like rubbing my chest, and I was like, you know. And then I frantically wrote it all on the back of this notebook 3.5 years ago, so I wouldn't forget any of it. And then I fell asleep. I woke up the next morning. I had forgotten all about it until I read the notebook. So write it down. And I guess that part 2 coming up later.